Well, hello model car fans. I am Ral, the muscle car modeler, and this week I'm going to show you some more of my stash ads here that I have purchased in the past month. So we'll call this July stash ads. And there may be a few others that I missed besides that, or didn't show you, but I'm going to show you a few of these. And I'll start with what came from my sponsor here. This is from Hobby Nut Models. I was browsing his site and saw it on there, and so I purchased it. Now, this kit, I remember when it first came out. This came out in 2003, and I was just getting back into it, and I was pretty excited about this kit. Matter of fact, I bought two of them. This is, it's definitely number 6, maybe number 7, but as I have this one unbuilt, I have two more unbuilt that I want to do a 70 446 pack convertible and a 71 446 pack convertible by swapping the Hemi into the 70 Superbird and taking the 446 pack and putting it into one of these. That's kind of how that project is planned. But, you know, I'm somewhat of a collector too as I pick them up. And, you know, like this one, I didn't really need another one. As you saw on the channel, I have built 3 of these. So, you know, I've got a 70 convertible, a 71 convertible, and then another 70 convertible that I've made from this. But I really enjoy this kit. Even though it has its issues, it's not perfect. It is based off the monogram hardtop from the 80s. The grille looks kind of funky a little bit where the headlights are. I think they should be a little bit bigger, and they're spaced out a little bit funny. And the interior is pretty much wrong, especially for the Hemi Cuda convertibles, because just about all of them have the base vinyl seats. And this one, what's in the box, pretty much represents the optional leather interior, which most of the Hemi Cudas didn't get, especially the convertibles. But anyway, it's just a kit I really love, and I just have a soft spot for them. So that's kind of why I picked this one up, even though, you know, I marked it spare because it pretty much is, but it's a sealed kit, and it's the original Nash Bridges issue, which this has become somewhat collectible. Even though I've had 2 of the Nash Bridges, and I never really watched the show or got into the show, but I built 3 of them, and I got 2 more, but the other 2 I have are the other box arts that came after this. So I picked this one up, so that's one I added. Here's another one from Reminiscing, and this is, I knew about this kit, the monogram here, and since I was looking at Ferrari convertibles and getting into it, I remembered they made this kit, and if I could find one, I was kind of curious how, you know, if they were rare or not. And it mainly started with going to Peter Piper Pizza with my son recently. You know, now he's coming up on 7 and he likes going to Peter Piper. But they have a video game there that's a lot like Outrun. So if you guys remember the video game Outrun from the 80s, that's what I picture when I see this. So that's why I marked it box stock Outrun. So I got to do it in red, like in the video game. You just see the rear and you race around. Pretty basic game, but it was pretty advanced for its time. So, but this one was an eBay purchase. So I picked this one up on eBay, and it was mint, everything in the box, bagged and everything. So I opened it up, took some parts off the tree because the pillar was bent a little bit, and this was bent a little bit, and I wanted to make sure it was salvageable. But as it was on eBay, these are pretty cheap. I mean, they're not expensive kits to find. So this one was a $12 purchase, but it cost more than that to ship it. But it was still under $28, I believe. But there was one small issue that I missed. It did not have its decals. And I went back through and looked at the photos and realized, yeah, there's photos of everything but the decals. And the seller didn't know. So I ended up buying more decals on eBay. And these are from a Tamiya kit that somebody was selling. But it was across the pond, so those hurt a little bit, but not too bad. And the funny part is, I did have, where is it at? Right here. When I built the Miami Vice Testarossa, here's the decals from the Miami Vice Testarossa. So I'm just missing Testarossa, the front emblem, and then this kit was supposed to use this Ferrari plate and the side badges. So all I was really missing was that decal and the Testarossa, but I wanted a silver one, so this Tamiya one was one I jumped on and got. So those decals cost me more than this kit, including shipping. But you know, I don't really think too much about the money when I enjoy building these things and everything. And this one will definitely get built, but done like that outrun. Here's another one, browsing eBay and not really looking for anything in particular. I do spend a little bit of time on eBay looking for certain kits and just seeing what's on there. And every now and then I run into a deal that nobody's really bidding on. And I saw this, not really excited about the particular 57 Chevy Stepside. It's a custom. It's pretty cool, but I have all those cameos, and for whatever reason, I decided to browse. But this one was a little bit more involved. The seller had the resin Suburban body. So, and then whatever chassis this is from, it's a Revell monogram chassis. I have no idea what this is from. But, so there's the Suburban conversion. All the parts from the donor kit are here. And these wheels are in there. And these look like they're kind of from a die cast, but they're pretty cool. But this was a $40 bid, and nobody was bidding on it. So I put in a $40 bid on it, and didn't worry too much about it. So by the time I got it, I won, and then shipping, it was under 60 bucks. Well, some of these bodies can be pretty expensive. So I don't know who makes this body, but I was pretty excited to get my hands on it. I'm like, okay, cool. So one I wasn't really looking for or intending to buy, but I placed a bid on it and I won. I wasn't really expecting to win. Here's another one that Market Hobby Nut Models knows I was looking for. I like the Batmobiles. I like the history of the Batmobiles. So there's some issues. And I have one of the Polar Lights issues with the full detail V8 engine, but I wanted this box. Now this one is the deluxe edition, and it's been issued twice. Back in 2011, it was like the 5th version, but this one has two chassis. It has the turbine engine and the V8 engine. Now I wanted this one for the turbine engine. Now this also has some of the newest stuff from the latest one, like it has the penguin decals and it has the penguin umbrellas. It just doesn't have the figurines. But here's the full-on deluxe. There's the turbine engine, everything here. And I've been kind of watching for these on eBay, and they rarely pop up. And this is the 2020 edition, the second issue. And I don't know why it was issued once in 2011. I think it didn't sell well because, one, it was expensive. And two, they had pumped out 3 or 4 different versions of the Batmobile. So everybody, including me, that bought Batmobiles, bought them all up. And I don't think they made too many of these. But they reissued it in 2020, and it's still hard to find. So this one popped up on eBay, and it's complete, unbuilt, photo etched and everything with figurines. And it was kind of a steal too, because the seller put it at $30 to buy it now, and I don't think they realized the difference between the deluxe kit and the regular kit. So when I saw this and saw the box and pictures and $30 buy it now, I hit the buy it now. So I was really happy with that. This was, for me, quite a score, and I'm real happy with that. Now, getting into some of the other odd kits here. And this is courtesy of Dan Doan here, a local guy, a friend of mine that I chat with all the time. And we like to talk vintage kits and kit history. And so he helps me with some of my information and shares where some of the parts are on some of the combos. And we were talking about different stuff, and he told me he had a bunch of the vintage Corvettes. And if I was interested in any, let him know. Well, me, originally, when it came to Corvettes, I wanted to do 72 and older, the chrome bumper cars. And I collected all of those to do them. And I ran into, I seen a 73 and I thought, that is one messed up car. Here's a 72 that got hit in the front and somebody put an 80 front end on it. That was my thought at the time. But I later found out, you know, when I was looking into history of Corvettes, that's stock. 73 was kind of an odd year. It had the chrome rear bumpers, but it had this front end. So I'm like, okay, the 74 has a really weird, ugly rear end, which isn't shown on the box here, but I was kind of not too interested in that for that. So, I mean, there's a 74. It has no wing at all and kind of boring to me and everything. But my 73 is a hardtop kit. Now, of course, in reading and looking into everything, realized 74 was the last year for the 454, which is how the MPC kit is. It comes with the 454 emblems here, all the details. And so I asked Dan Doan, I'm like, do you have a 74 or do you have this Roadster kit? And he did. So I ended up buying it from him. He made me a decent deal. So I bought it from him, and I do plan to build this, but I'll build it with the 454, even though it was not a high-performance Stormer at the time. It was kind of expensive, and these things didn't handle very well. The small block cars were definitely better handlers and a lot more sporty to drive by this time. So, but that's what I liked about it. So I told Dan, I'm like, I would really like to have this kit. So I got it from him. So here's a vintage 74 Roadster here. With all the custom parts and everything. It was missing the tires, but I had the tires in my stack, which, you know, I got a ton of tires. So picked this one up, and this one will eventually get built as I build all of those C3s. At the same time, we were talking Corvettes, so he brought this one. Well, actually, kind of this one, but not really this one. But we were talking about 82 Corvettes, and I was asking him about the kits that were available since he knew more about those, and I was looking for one that had the crossfire injection in it. And he goes, I got some kits you can build into an 82. Now, he brought this Ghost Rider kit. Well, technically, I could feel the difference. He brought this Ghost Rider kit. And he goes, oh, you can easily turn this into an 82. And, you know, it's got the body and all this stuff, but it doesn't have the wheels, and has all the flares and stuff. But he didn't know. I was kind of eyeballing this kit because I built this in the 80s as the Ghost Rider. Just glued it together, put the decals on it. Didn't do the greatest job. But I've been kind of interested in picking this kit up. So he had it, and I'm like, I'm interested in this. And there was a couple other Corvette kits he brought that I passed on. But he had this kit. And I'm like, you know what? I want this kit even though it has an 82 rear bumper. It doesn't say 82 on the rear bumper. I'd like to find one that fits this. It actually says 82, but I'll sand it off. The one that's in here says 81. But this one's actually missing the actual wheels. I got the inner wheels. I have the tires because I've got a ton of these tires from miscellaneous MPC kits, but I don't have these chrome wheels. So I like to find those chrome wheels, or something that's going to work in here. Even if I go with, I kind of don't want to go with bigger 24s and low profile and slam this thing down. I kind of want to keep it like it was in the box, mainly for retrofit thoughts. But he also, since I told him I wanted to build this, and I'll show you the other kit I had, he had another one that he brought, and he said, here's one that's built, and somebody had painted it, did all the body work, did a nice job. There's a little bit of cracking in the putty and whatnot, but they did a really nice job. And he goes, here, you can have this one for parts or do whatever you want with it. So I'm like, I can't say no when somebody's, you know, giving you something out of the kindness of their heart. It's got all the extra parts. And so there's a lot of stuff in here, but I got to really look it over. And it also had another kit. This is the 1981. This is the Voodoo kit. So that's what this is, another parts kit, Voodoo kit. So he goes, these aren't complete, but this one had good glass, and I did some swapping around of some parts, but that's because I got this kit. So Dan Doan's really hooking me up with these Ghost Rider kits. I do have a Voodoo kit. Now this one I picked up a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. Local guy Bernie. So this was a $9 purchase, and it was complete. The window was glued into it, but it had, and it was glued right here. So I got the window free, and it had some glue marks, but it had the crossfire injection molded right in the fender. So this is the 82 body. I had another Ghost Rider that had the 82 body, and then the other one had the 81 body, which is a little bit different. Besides not having this, the cross flags on the front and back are different. So this is the actual 82 body, and it has most of the 82 parts. Now, the wheels and everything I can do to make an 82. My issue is this kit, it's really an 81. And the big thing I knew about it, and I was talking to Dan Doan about, was it's a turbo 350 tranny, automatic turbo 350 tranny, and a 350 carbureted engine. And that's what the 81 had. The 81 had a 4-speed available as well, but the model kit had the turbo 350 engine. So I also had some parts, engines. So my 87 Revell monogram, 87 Corvette convertible, which I have 3 of those. One I'm going to build, 2 I bought for parts. But this has the 700R4 tranny, which was the first appearance in the 82 Corvettes. The 82 Corvette came with the 700R4 and the Crossfire injection 350 engine. So there's my tranny. I cut the extra bracing off. I have to remove this and change the tail housing a little bit, but I'll use this tranny on this block and everything to make the Crossfire. But Dan Doan, in his infinite wisdom and knowing where stuff is, that's where he helped me some more. Here's this stuff. So since he kind of knew, and some of the Camaros had the Crossfire injection in it. So here's a Crossfire injection from an MPC kit, and this fits the engine nicely. So there's the snorkel for the air cleaner, there's the air cleaner, and the Crossfire. So he had that. I'm like, that's great. So he hooked me up with those parts. But then he remembered the Monogram 82 Camaro has a much more accurate Crossfire air cleaner. So he pulled this out of his stash and stuff and gave that to me. So now I pretty much have everything to make an 82 Corvette for the first year of the Crossfire fuel injection, or injection in the Corvette since the mechanical fuel injection. So that was my plans with this kit and why I was going for it and picking some of this stuff up. So there's some of my builds and some of my plans, and some of these will get built eventually on the channel or off the channel. But you know, I get pretty excited about some of these. But this is where, you know, getting a little too much into what's out there and what's available and picking this stuff up and just letting people know what I'm hoping for and what I want. But these are some of the stash ads, and you know, I just wanted to show you guys and everything. So, you know, earning money on the channel for ad revenue helps me buy some of the ones on eBay, and then your guys' purchases on Hobby Nut Models and earning some on there, and some advertising money too helps me buy some stuff from him too. And then, you know, plus the ones he sends me for the channel specifically to show you guys. So his sponsorship is very helpful as well, and you guys supporting him, it helps everybody out in this community. So pretty cool. But I wanted to show you guys and show you some of my latest stash ads and everything. So you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really do appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.